look forward to the challenge of playing the Chargers. I think it's a good opportunity for some of our young guys to, or guys that haven't had a chance to play, get in and play. I will, for better terms, I guess, sit some of the starters and the best I can, rest them up and get them ready for later. But for right now, I'm excited to let these other guys get in and have an opportunity to play. Anyways, with that time, George.
Let's go first to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, back in 2017, when you had a similar situation, you kind of changed the coaching duties a little bit that week, to allow guys like Matt Nagy to prepare for interviews and that kind of thing. Anything that you're planning this week, too, as far as, giving guys like EB and anybody else that might be, possibly considered by other teams for interviews?
Yeah, so whatever they need to do in that area, I haven't even reviewed the rules on it necessarily yet, but whatever needs to be done there will take place. And yeah, I have no problem with all that stuff. So there's nothing to announce now, but I mean, I would have no problem with that.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, after the game on Sunday, Patrick kind of took ownership. I mean, before anybody asked him, he brought up, some misreads, pre-snap with protection calls and everything. I'm curious, how much of that from what you see is maybe the Falcons doing a really good job of disguising and using some stuff that they haven't shown before, and how much of that do you feel like will sort of work itself out as I don't want to say makeshift, but just a new offensive line with all these new parts gets more used to each other?
Yeah, I think he took accountability. I tell you, it's my challenge to make sure I give him the right calls for the right coverages. I think EB would stand up here and tell you the same thing. And, so everybody has a piece of the pie, and we just could have done better all the way around. Now, the bottom line was we did what we needed to finish the game with a win, but it's, we're always striving for better, and we get that it's the NFL and, that whole deal. So, but we're always looking to get better, all of us. So.
Next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, good afternoon. You mentioned wanting to see some of the younger players get out there. What specifically will you be looking for, especially for like a Bo Peep Keys, a rookie, and, like maybe even some of your first-year players?
Yeah, sure. I think, listen, Herbie, just any experience that they can get, I think is a positive. Whoever it is that has a chance to play. Now, with the new rules, you've got some veteran guys that are just, because we've got these COVID rules that, and those guys, they can jump in and play. And I mean, you're probably not looking as much at experience there, but you're with some of these young guys. I mean, that's a great thing for them. You can't buy that. I mean, that's how often does this happen where you have a chance to do this in a real game? So I just think it's a tremendous opportunity, and especially when you didn't have a whole preseason to see guys, here you go. Guys that didn't have as much opportunity, they might get an opportunity here.
Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, have you decided which way you're going to go at quarterback on Sunday? And if it's going to be Chad Henne, is Pat going to be down? Are you going to activate Matt Moore on Sunday?
Yeah, I haven't gone through all the acts and acts, but Chad will go ahead and play, yeah. And there's a good chance Matt's up, but we'll see when it's all said and done how that works out.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, Coach, in games like this, it seems to me you guys haven't had a lot of games like this where you're entirely set and, in a weird year with the pandemic and not being able to do a lot of the things you've done. Is there a danger in a game that injuries, things like that can happen? You can't go out and kind of play football. You have to go play football, right? Is there a danger factor in this game when, you don't exactly know who's going to be out there, how much time they've had to play and get ready in a situation like this?
Well, I mean, it's a contact sport. So yeah, there's danger. I mean, there's danger in practice, there's danger in the games and all that, but I try to look at the positive part of it. And I just think it's what a great opportunity. These guys have busted their tail in a lot of cases just to have an opportunity to play. And if if they can't get it during a regular game that we've had up to week 15 here, I mean, my gosh, I mean, here you go. And let's go get some experience and try to take the positive road with it and not think too much of the other part.
Go next to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. I know you're not one to pause in the middle of the season, really, and I know you're insulated from some of this, but I do wonder if during this crazy year with COVID and everything, if you have some sense of what your team has done and its meaning to the community that probably carries I think some, emotional benefit to it. I'm just curious if you have any sense of that and how you'd measure it.
Yeah, I mean, I know because my wife is, wives are more in the community than we are during the season. So I don't get out much. But I know that I know the fans love the Chiefs, and the people of Kansas City and Missouri and Kansas love the Chiefs. So, winning, I think, is a positive. Yes, I think that reflects positive on our community. So I'm proud of our guys and how they work in the community and do those things and keep them involved, from Clark and Mark, Donovan on down to the players. So I mean, it's really a unique relationship, I think, with organization and community that way. But I'm hoping that it does lift people up. So I mean, it's a crazy time right now.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Sam and then Pete. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. With Chad Henne, I mean, he's obviously doesn't necessarily fall into that younger guy category that you're looking to figure out what he's got, but he's been with you for a while. He was injured last year. He came back this year. I'm wondering if it feels a little bit rewarding to be able to offer a guy like this a game.
Yeah, well, listen, I think he's excited. I always tell him, act like you're 20, man. Try to remember those days and feel it. So he's all in. He's excited. So great opportunity for him. I mean, these guys love to play the game. That's a neat part about it. It's not like guys are ducking out of playing. They all want to get in there and go, but it's a decision that I had to make there. So, but Chad's very excited.
We'll go last to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, I was curious what you would be willing to share as far as how you can maybe take these weeks to your advantage when it comes to the playoff teams. Is it something where there's too many teams to really worry about it right now, or are you starting things with some of your assistants and some of your position coaches?
Yeah, Brett showed me a chart, and I looked at it for about 2 seconds, and I said, "You figure it out, man." I mean, it looked complicated, so I didn't want to deal with it at that moment. So I don't think I think we've got it narrowed down to what we think, but there are a bunch of variables there. So we've got people though that look at all the different teams and we'll be ready for whatever and whoever it ends up being. But I know there are a lot of scenarios. This is great for the NFL, isn't it? I mean, it's a tribute to them. They a few years back they strived for parity amongst the teams, and here we sit. I mean, it's crazy. So kind of be fun to watch how it plays out.